But here's the thing, having lived on North Shore for 10 years, I can tell you the stereotypes are very inaccurate. So what we're going to get today is a great match sponsored by Apollo Projects, Bailey's, Caltex, New Zealand Carbon Farming, and of course, whakata Māori, te kainga tūturu o ngā hā kinakina o ngā rohe o Aotearoa nei.
And these ladies will be playing 40 minutes each way. And got our referee, I'm afraid we can't give her name, I'm sorry, but looking at down the team list, some of these numbers, of course, hopefully will all work, but just some of them is Roxy Pearson. This is for Mount Albert Grammar, Rosie Robinson, Emily Lyon, Maya Leith, and of course in the opposing team, likes of Kenzie Lockmuir, Clara Quinn.
Kickoff, Rangitoto College wearing the red, and we've got Mount Albert Grammar in the blue, baby blue.
And don't worry about that score that's sitting there at the moment. The game's only just kicked off, so we've just around about 30 seconds, so we'll just get that reset for you. This is the New Zealand Secondary Schools Football Tournament coming to you from Crown Park here in Taupo. It's 0-0.
Rangitoto College have shown their true colours, that they're not afraid, that they've come, they're ready, already penetrating the half of Mount Albert, te kura o Wairaka. I tēnei wā tonu, kei te kaha tonu te haere o Rangitoto College. They've kicked into the mid. Can they get the header for the goal? And it's a little too high. So Rangitoto College are warming up, but Mount Albert Grammar, again, mounting excellent defence against Rangitoto College.
So we made mention earlier in the broadcast on our first game coming to you this afternoon. Of course, the standard of football for these young ladies is fantastic. And all to do with, of course, the follow-on from the World Cup that was just recently played both here in New Zealand and in Australia.
Wouldn't it have been great if we had had one or two players from that tournament here? That would have been cool if we could have interviewed them today. Engari tonu, te tono nei ki a FIFA mina ka tūwai ngi nei tūmomo whakataitai. Tēnā, ho mai ngi te hi o ngā kaitākoro hei whakawhitiwhiti kōrero mā tātou. Oh, and already we almost had a trip and slip from Rangitoto College today. Mount Albert Grammar pushing forward. A firm answer to Rangitoto's firm attack. Neither side is coming to muck around.
No, not giving a quarter either one of them. One of the things too we noticed earlier was big shout out to all the volunteers that help our tournaments such as this on. And of course that goes along with our touch judges and our referees for these games. They give up their time freely to support the likes of the secondary schools football tournament.
The ball is firmly in the half of Mount Albert Grammar, but now Rangitoto are back on the attack. Ko te pātaina nui mo tēnei wā tonu, e āhei ana a te kariti a Rangitoto e tiaki pai ai i tō rātau raina whakamutinga. Can they protect the last line? Ko whana atu te pōro e te kaitiaki.
So it's Rangitoto College in the red strip and Mount Albert Grammar in the baby blue or the light blue. And we've made mention earlier too, Bronson, with the way in which the ground itself, the pitch that these young ladies are playing on is firm underfoot, mainly to do with the soil substance here being pumice. So it doesn't get all boggy and messed up like a lot of the football fields further north. And yeah, we've had a great run of weather actually. It hasn't been too bad. So the tournament long range forecast for the whole up till Friday when the finals are on looks pretty good.
Koina tetehi o ngā hua pai o haki hukapapa. Perhaps it's one of the benefits of having our frosty fields. They harden the fields, and when our tamanui te rā comes to warm things up, the fields are still hard, but also it's a testament to that pumice. Oh, we've had our first fall. And was that an appeal from Rangitoto to the referee?
I think so.
I think she was appealing. Ko tuku te poro. Mount Albert carrying on, pushing forward. Can they maintain momentum?
So, of course, the Haurua halves are going in 40 minutes, so they're playing a 40-minute half.
5 minutes into the first half, Huama. Close to 5 minutes of a 40-minute half. We hope that the girls will be safe today. We had a couple of slips and falls in our previous match, and we hope that the players are all right. Ko te tūmanako ka kahahaere ngā kapa e rua nei. Kaore e kore, ko ki te mai i te whakangungu pai, me ngā whakaritenga pai o ngā kapa e rua nei. We've seen that the teams have trained and prepared well. Oh, and that looks like Rangitoto's ball. Mount Albert Grammar continue to put pressure on Rangitoto, but despite all that, Rangitoto carry on, determined to press forward to the goal. Ko te pātaina nui e tēnei ahi tonu, ko wai katoa, wai ka hua, wai ka tohu.
So these girls would, of course, be the first 11 out of their secondary schools. So to make them, especially if you take the likes of your Rangitoto College, there's a lot of kids at that school itself. So here's a nice little attacking move. Lost control, oh, maybe not.
Oh, and first goal of the match, Mount Albert, Baby Blue, ko tahi, Rangitoto, e kore ngā piro e tēnei wā tonu. So both sides have shown neither of them are mucking around, neither of them have come to play, they've come to win. Me mihi ka tika ki te u me te kaha o ngā kapa e rua nei.
The nice thing about this as well, Bronson, is you're not seeing all of the big knee slides, of course, after the goals. The referees aren't allowing that. They're getting the ball straight back to halfway and saying, right, let's go. Come on, ladies. We're not here to play tiddlywinks. We're here to see whether you can make the nationals.
That being said, it would be cool if we threw a couple of backflips after a goal. I wouldn't say no to that. And we have Rangitoto trying to press forward. Almost got it, but the head went sideways. So both sides clearly showing they've trained well, they've practiced well. They're not coming to play, they're coming to win.
Well, the defenders on the game earlier today, and of course now following it through, they're showing us a great ball skills, great way of playing forward.
Can Mount Albert Grammar maintain their assault? Koina te pātaina nui e tēnei wā tonu. Both sides are jostling for supremacy. Oh, we have a cross into the middle of the field and goalkeeper catches it firm. Rangitoto says, can we have a point? Mount Albert Grammar firmly replies, ka hore.
So the coverage that we're able to provide you today, of course, coming from Crown Park here in Taupo. There's a lot of fields that are actually in play, which this camera angle doesn't quite give us. But there's games going on all around us at the moment, and we're just covering this particular one ourselves with the likes of Mount Albert Grammar and Rangitoto College.
Tēnei te mihi ki ngā kaiawhi nei kia nei ko Apollo Projects, ko Bailey's, ko Celtics, ko New Zealand Carbon Farming, Pure Athletic, and of course Whakata Māori, the home of New Zealand sport.
And I was reading through the charter the other day, of course, which these teams sign up to. And, you know, it all comes down to the sportsmanship. So play hard, play fair.
Pride in victory, dignity in loss. Koina te tūmomo pai o ngēnei tūtākoro. Standing strong when you win, standing in humility when it doesn't quite go your way. Koina ngā kākono o te āhua pai, o te kaitākaro pai. And what you see here, this is literally rai ki te rai, upoko ki te upoko, waiwai ki te waiwai, head-to-head football at its best.
It's a bit of an attacking move coming down the right field. Oh, and a lovely save by the goalkeeper.
And again, we have an application from Rangitoto College for a goal, and the answer of Mount Albert Grammar is anō kāhore.
Sort of see some of the height of these young women too. There's some tall timber there.
Very, very, very. Tā roa ngē nei wahine, ngē nei kōtiro, ngē nei taiohi. But I've always wondered about the goalies' uniforms. Do they get to pick their own? Is it custom? Wonder how it's done, you know? Like, did Mount Albert pick pink? And did Rangitoto pick yellow? Yeah. You know anything about that, my friend?
I don't know, actually, Bronson. I'll have to do a little Uncle Google search and see whether I can find something to say whether or not the goalie themselves have that opportunity.
Oh, and we have the cross in the head. Yes. Oh, 2 heads. Were 2 heads better than 1? I think we almost had a goal there. Couple of headers from the corner kick. Crossed in from Rangitoto. Again, Rangitoto continues to apply for points, and Mount Albert Grammar continues to deny their request.
Well, that tuki that just was performed, it was both very, very quick, and one of them I thought actually hit the crossbar. No, it was actually a head came above it, and here we go.
In this case, we see 2 heads are not better than 1. Let's see how they go with 3.
Yeah, put a tuki in the middle of it. As I say, the defenders on both teams have been exceptionally good, and they're playing at pace, which is the one thing I love about this sort of age group sport is, as you say, they just don't leave anything behind. They'll go hard out. As I say, we're just hitting our 12th minute mark on the New Zealand Secondary Schools Football Tournament with the likes of Mount Albert Grammar and Rangitoto College. And you'll just see now, actually, if you look on that screen there where the truck is, and you see the linesman running down the side. So there's only about a 4 metre gap, between those 2 opposing paddocks. And then sort of if you imagine looking over the back end, there's another 2 games going over there. So there's about four games happening simultaneously, and that'll continue right the way through until we get into the finals on Friday afternoon.
Interesting point about the name Rangitoto. As we know, it's about the mountainous island in the Hauraki Gulf. Man, what a lot of people may not know is that the name Rangitoto does not come from the people of Auckland. The full name is Te Rangi I Toto Ai Te Ihu o Tamatakapua, and it commemorates an event which took place on the mountain, which the 2 captains of the Tainui and the Te Arawa Waka, they were up there, and the captain of the Te Arawa Waka got a blood nose. So that's where Rangitoto comes from. It was the day in which Tamatakapua got a bloody red nose. Now, how we got a red nose is up for debate. Historians on both the Tainui and the Te Arawa sides continue to debate that on marae across the motu. I have my own theories, but I'll leave that because we're not here to talk about mountains, we're here to talk football.
I didn't realise I was sitting beside a historian as well as a commentator. Well done, Bronson. So, as we say, this it started with the girls. It's 1-0.
And again, Rangitoto persist with their application for points, and Mount Albert Grammar continue to oppose such applications. Me mihi ka tika ki te kounga o ngā pūkenga o ia kapa ko tahuti mai nei ki tēnei tōna mana e kia nei ko te Premier Girls Secondary School Tournament for the year 2023. Must acknowledge the amazing skill factors of every team which is gathered here today. Kaoringi nei timi hara mai ki te makarona. They're not here to muck around, they're not here to play, they're definitely here to win.
Well, their katiaki is on both teams. Again, we saw it in the earlier match, but we're seeing it here. Their defenders are doing the job for their respective teams. Occasionally getting a little bunched up, but
And to be honest, when I actually prefer watching these local games rather than the international tournaments. To me, the international tournaments, the teams are such a great quality. You don't get that push and shove. You don't get the stooshes for the ball. They're so expert. It's almost so flawless. It's quite boring. But you see here, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where the ball is going to go. You know, rai ki te rai, upoko ki te upoko, wai wai ki te wai wai. It's a great ultimate mystery. And that's what I love about these local games.
Goalie coming off her line to clear that away.
Oh, had a fall there, but the girls are doing all right. And if you see here, the girls are playing very clean, but they're not hesitating to put some shoulder in, to put some hip in when they need to jostle for the ball. Me mihi ka tiki ki te kounga o ngā pukenga o ngā kapa e rua nei.
Yeah, they'll make mention, Bronson, at the end of these types of tournaments that these young women, whether they move on to the next level up and represent their region as well, or making the national team, they'll be friends for life because they'll remember these tournaments. Win, lose or draw, that's the main thing. The whole part of the sport of these age group tournaments are just so good for everyone concerned as well.
Slide tackle there from Mount Albert Grammar. And Brent's so right. If you want to watch the future of New Zealand football, e hoa mā, kei konei, haramai ki Taupo nui atia, haramai ki whakaata Māori, mā takitaki atu ki te anamata o ngā kēmu o Aotearoa.
And the other thing too, when you look at this, Bronson, is that the referee, you've got to give credit to them too. They're letting the game flow. They're not blowing that whistle every 3 seconds to try and do it. If the girls sort of have a bit of a collision, you know, they'll just see whether it was really intentional or whether it was just sort of the way in which the ball fell.
They're honouring, I guess, almost the intent and the spirit. They, you know, falls do happen, slips do happen, but anyone can see very clearly there's no malicious intent behind these. No one's trying to hurt each other. They're trying to get the ball.
The old referee herself had to take a bit of evasive action for a couple of passes during that. It was a little bit up close and personal.
Oh, and I think we may have our first penalty. Tā mātou whiu tuatahi o te tukinga nei. Hard to tell what the referee's call will be. I think he's giving the ball, she is giving the ball to Rangitoto College.
So not sure what's happening here, whether there's an injury somewhere along the lines, because both goalies have actually come back out to join the rest of the team for a bit of whether or not we can increase the camera angle out to see whether there is a player on the ground. Maybe it could be happening. But yeah, just looks like it. I just saw one of the trainers coming out onto the field, so they've just run past.
Te ahua nei kua whara tētihi o ngā kaitākoro, engari ko te tūmanako e pai ana. Yep, katahi anō tātou kia kite. Tētihi o te kapa Mount Albert Grammar e takato ana. Engari ko te tūmanako e pai ana. Nō reira me tuku karakia.
And hopefully it's not too serious. As we say, the ground is quite firm underfoot here because of the pumice, as we've made mention before, which is self-draining and of course makes these grounds a little bit firmer underfoot for a winter period of time.
So there definitely will be a penalty. But as for who and how, we're not quite sure. Nā Rangitoto College tonu te pōro, ākua nei ka whanawhiu. An opportunity perhaps for Rangitoto to reset the rhythm. I tohu ai te referee ki te nama te kau o te kapa Rangitoto. Tōna ingoa ko Kenzie Longmuir. Oh, and the goalkeeper catches that. Again, Rangitoto persists in their application. Can we have a point? Ko te whakahoki o Mount Albert Grammar, ka hore. And with a decline in the application for a point, Mount Albert decides to counter with an offer on their own. Can we have a point? Can we have a point? And again, the answer from Rangitoto is ka hore, we're going to take the ball and bring it onto our side. Here ki roto. Kei a Rangitoto toni te poro. E pei ana ki te hawhe o Mount Albert Grammar. Kua kapo hia e Mount Albert Grammar. Kei te kaitiaki e nāia nei. Ko te pātai ia ka aha, ka whana ki roto, ki wainga. E kaha whawhai ana ngā kapa e rua nei mo te poro. Kei te tono atu anō a Mount Albert Grammar, he piro mā mātou, ko te whakahoki o Rangitoto, ka hore. Both teams continue to apply for score, for points, and the continuous answer from both sides is no, no, no. Ko te namarima o te taha Rangitoto e kia nei ko Mila Moles. Aha ko te iti he paunamu. Kei te tekau mā whā o te kapa Rangitoto, o te rā Isla Sherman, kua whana ki waho.
So we're just halfway through the first half of the game with just over 21 minutes gone out of a 40-minute half for the New Zealand Secondary Schools Football Tournament. They're definitely playing at pace. I'll give these girls that.
One thing I notice about these two teams, neither of them are afraid to be surrounded by the other side. They, you know, when one of the players is surrounded by opponents, they hold their composure, they continue to press, they don't get nervous, they can hold their own even when they're surrounded. Me mihi ka tika i te kaunga o te kaha me te u o ngā kapa e rua nei.
Well, their takayeti is so good, you know, they're actually running back and they're actually protecting that back end. And you sort of just in that last play, movement of play that the girls, the defenders got back really quickly.
Ka rea kore kua whakangungu pai ngā kapa e rua nei kia whakawhiti i te tinana. I can imagine that these girls have done a lot of calisthenics, a lot of runs up and down the field. Oh! E tonu ana a Mount Albert Grammar mo te piro, ko te whakahoki o Rangitoto College, ka hore. Oh, missed the ball there.
Trying to get it cleared away from their own goal.
Ball goes out and the throw-in belongs to Rangitoto. We're here at the Premier Girls Secondary School Football 2023 at Crown Park in Taupo, Nuiatia, below the shadow of Mount Tauhara. And you wouldn't know it, but it actually was a frosty morning here in Taupo. Felt like -5, was probably about -3. But you wouldn't know with the sun. And as you say here in the Taupo region, in wintertime the sun is on light duties only. It just gives light, it doesn't give much by way of warmth. Kei a Rangitoto te poro i nāia nei. Rangitoto continues to apply for points and the firm answer of Mount Albert Grammar remains no. Koe ne te tūāhua te whutupōro e arohia nei e tātou. Rai ki te rai, upoko ki te upoko, waiwai ki te waiwai, head-to-head grassroots football at its best.
And it's great with the coverage, of course. A lot of whānau will be sitting at home and watching this live stream, of course.
And to those families and supporters of Mount Albert Grammar, the reflection of the sun is making it difficult for us to see the numbers on your favourite team shirts. We apologise for the lack of visibility. Engari me mihi ka tika ki te kaunga o ngā kapa e rua. Both teams have both proven they've brought their A game. They're not here to play, they're here to win. Ko te pātaina nui, hea te tūmomo kēmu e pai atu. Is the A game of Rangitoto going to prevail over the A game of Mount Albert Grammar? Koine te pātaina nui I tēnei wā tonu. The question on our minds at the moment, whose A game is enough to win the game? Oh, excellent, we saw there. Header to shoulder, shoulder to floor. Rangitoto has the ball and the rhythm is in their favour. Can number 11 from Rangitoto, can she bring it in? Ivy Cologne, can she bring it in for the score?
Oh, that goal was left wide open for them, but no one able to sort of get between that. But their attacking movement is still continuing. Lovely clearance away from the goalie. These girls are not scared to mix it up, are they?
No, they're not.
All.
No, not at all.
So the whānau is given for them to push forward.
And hopefully the players are all right. There was a bit of a fall there. Mount Albert trying to bring the ball back into their half to upset the rhythm of Rangitoto. Both sides continue to jostle for control. And as you can see right here, that ball should have gone over the line quite a while ago, but they managed to jostle, flip, trick their way into keeping it in control, and then finally it went out.
Well, I've managed to sort of do some quick research, Bronson, on your very poignant question of the colour of the goalie's uniform. It is entirely up to the goalie.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. So they're allowed to pick their own colour. It's their choice. Well, that's as far as FIFA rules are concerned. I'm not sure whether the colleges themselves would say the same, but...
And there you go, today's trivia whānau. If you are at that international level and you're a goalie, you choose your own colours, you choose your own uniform.
Well, it says that the kit, whether it be Nike or Adidas or whoever, will design the keeper's jersey depending on the team colours of the infield players. So each team has a basic colour. Sometimes they may include it, of course, a home and away or whatever strip they're going to be playing in.
And we had another attempt for goal there by Rangitoto College. It's a bit wide. Mount Albert continue to put a firm defence up, continuously denying the application of Rangitoto for a point. Me mihi ka tika ki te kaunga me te me te kaha o ngā kapa e rua nei. Aha koa tata oti te hawhi tuatahi o te KMU nei, ko tahi nui ho te piro, te taha Mount Albert Grammar ki te kore o ngā piro o te kapa Rangitoto. The fact that it's only 1-0 after 3/4 of the first half shows the skill level that we're at e te iwi. Kaere rātou mo te makarona, mo te prei nui ho, I haramai rātou mo te toa. These guys aren't mucking around, they're not here to play, they're here to win.
So as we say, we've got a few more days of yet for this tournament to run right through until Friday. Bit scary when you look at it being Friday the 1st of September. So the year's disappearing, but some great action of football here at Crown Park in Taupo. Tomorrow, of course, we've got 4 games going.
3 months to Christmas. Who would have thought?
Come on. Bit early.
Started your shopping yet?
No. And if I hear a Christmas carol in this shopping centre, I'll go somewhere else. No, far too early to think that.
But, you know, a Taupo shopping centre is not the same as like an Auckland shopping centre,
that
is
is
it?
also true. No, that is also true.
Yeah. Our shopping centres aren't quite big enough to have internal speakers. Strip malls at best. Although, for some of your Christmas shopping, you may have to go to Rotorua. The bigger towns like Rotorua have a few more choices that when Taupo don't.
We'll stick and support Taupo. It's a good way to do it.
Support Taupo businesses e te whānau. And speaking of Taupo businesses, me mihi atu ki a placemakers. We've given you a lot of free coverage today, placemakers. Do the right thing. Contact Rob Waddell and support the girls. These girls are the best of what our country has to offer. We're looking at future FIFA players e te whānau.
You can contact us and we'll give you Rob's phone number. We won't give it out on air, but we'll give you that if you've got some dollars that you want to throw. Of course, we can't do this without the support of local businesses and especially national businesses as well that make these tournaments flow. There's a lot of volunteer hours go into the preparation and, of course, then the running of a tournament such as this. But sponsors are really important to help with these young athletes to be able to come down from all around the country, really, to be able to get involved with the secondary schools football tournament.
E whenei ana te kōrero tuku iho, mā pango, mā whiro, mā māka o tia i te mahi. Ko te kōrero o tēnei wā, mā pūtea, mā mahi, mā pakihi, te mahi o tia. The old saying goes, it's with the red, the white and the black that all things are done, but maybe we could put a modern variation on that kōrero with the help of the community, with the help of businesses alike, the job gets done.
So the referee is actually keeping a nice tight control and allowing the game to flow, which is great, but quite happy to penalise the teams if they do step out of line a little bit, just pushing them back till they've got that 10 metres that's required.
Not that this game is about me or anything, but that is one of my pet peeves of how rugby is changing. A lot of times there's too many stoppages. League has become the preferred game, not because I like it, but because there's fewer stoppages. But in these local games, it's good to see that the referees are free to honour the intent of the players. It's obvious to see that no one's trying to hurt each other. They just want the ball. They just want to score. So if there is a bit of a jostle, a tussle, and a fall, no one's being penalised maliciously here. Me mihi kātika ki ngā kapa e rua me ngā referee nei.
No, very good point, Bronson. Very, very good point that the referees, the touch judges are doing a fine job keeping the game going. As I say, we've got about 7.5 minutes to go in the first half with the New Zealand Secondary Schools football tournament here at Crown Park in Taupo.
Kore kore ko kitea nei e tātou I ngē tehi o ngā soccer mums, ngā proud dads, me ngā tautoko, ngā whanaunga, ngā hoa o ngēnei kapa e prei ana. And again, we acknowledge the soccer mums, the proud dads, the orange boys, the drinks boys, drinks girls, orange girls, everyone that supports these grassroots events. Without the community, these things just don't happen.
So
another attempt at goal.
Yeah, just a little bit over the top of the crossbar. So as I say, we've getting into these finals, we've got teams from Cashmere High School, New Plymouth Girls, Maclean's College, Waikato Dio, Diocesan School, Westlake Girls, Mount Albert Grammar and Rangitoto College, which is the two teams that you're seeing on this screen particularly, with Mount Albert Grammar leading 1-0 over Rangitoto College.
We saw one of the Mount Albert Grammar girls putting her body on the line, hoping that she could block the ball, but no dice. lot of reflection on the jerseys of Rangitoto College. Baby blue with white writing on a sunny day makes for, yeah, it's hard to see the numbers.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, but that number 10 is Kenzie Longmuir. And we just saw Kira Knott, number 25. I think it's Kira.
That's from the Rangitoto team.
Rangitoto, yep.
And so, just want to acknowledge the Mount Albert Grammar team. We've got Anika Todd at number 1, Roxy Pearson number 2, Holly Reno at number 3, Stella Nola at number 4, Pipe O'Neill at number 5, number 6 is Nina McFarlane, number 7 Maya Lyth, number 9 Emily Leon, number 10 Rosie Robson, number 11 Alana Rennell, number 13 Tabby Middleton, 14 is Nevea Rhodes, 15 is Maya Vince, 16 is Victoria Fatiaki, and then we have number 17 Millie Loxton, and then we also have Sophia DePledge. Apologise to the families, the weather conditions makes us hard to see the numbers. We're naming the other side, but we're commentators, we're not biased against either teams. But yeah, what we're seeing here is top quality football here at the 2023 Premier Girls Secondary School Tournament.
As we say, great ball skill these young ladies are showing.
And we have there Maya Life trying to get some support from her team on the side of Mount Albert Grammar. I continue to be impressed by the quality of the players here. Both of the sides, none of the players are afraid to be surrounded. They hold their composure when our defence piles up on them. Cool as a cucumber. Helps on a winter day.
Yeah, well, we've made mention of that before. Bronson, of course, the defenders have done exceptionally well, but they get themselves a little bit spaced out. Oh, now this could be... Excuse me, the goalie came off a line. Could have been trouble, but managed to get the clearance away.
The Rangitoto team came through for their goalie. She did her bit, they took care of the rest. And I think we saw an attempt at a backflip kick to bring the ball back into play, but it ended up going further towards the maunga. Engari e pai ana. Me mihi ka tiki ki te kaunga o ngā kapa e rua nei.
As you say, the skill level is great. I mean, they're quite happy to do the back heel.
Yep.
Showing all the little nuances of what they need to do.
And I think Catherine Smith, number 2 from Rangitoto College, just took a soccer ball to the gut and then walks it off as if nothing happened. As we say in te reo Māori, aha ko he te he paunamu, even though they're small, they still have value. And so, even, like, and it might be my eyes here at play, as we proved in the previous game, I do need, I should go to Specsavers, but what I'm seeing here on the Mount Albert Grammar side, got some really tall girls, and you can see that they try and dominate through their physicality, but the little girls on the other side, they're just not fazed by the big size.
No, they're not at all. And they're able to, as you say, another attempt, but just flying over the top.
And as we learn on the rugby field when we're young, don't underestimate the small guys. And we can see here, don't underestimate the smaller ladies here. It's clear to see neither side have come to play. Both sides have trained hard in their hair to win. And neither side will be intimidated by each other. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And Bronson, they're going to try and get themselves through to the next round because, of course, it is a straight knockout. Although once they get to the top 6 teams, of course, they'll be sort of playing down, you know, 1 through 6.
So today, on Wednesday, we have the quarterfinals. Tomorrow will be the semi-finals. And then tomorrow will be, on Friday, the last day of the tournament, will be the grand final. And at the end of the day, we will know who are the premier girls of our New Zealand secondary schools.
It was a lovely back heel too by the girls from Mount Albert. But
Yes.
Just not able to grab one of her teammates to sort of follow it through. As you can see from that shot, you can see the other game that's going over the back of this one. And then there's 2 more games that are literally over our back shoulder from which the camera angle that you're looking at now. So there's another 2 fields that are being used at the moment. So just
nice.
Without stoppage time being added on at the moment, they've just about completed the first half. Excuse me, there's only around about a 5-minute gap between the first half that we're going to be playing.
I thought we were about to see a goal attempt on the part of Rangitoto, but the ball was jostled out of their possession. And now it's back in their hands, and I think we're at the end of the first half.
Yep, looks like it. So there'll be a small gap of around 5 minutes while the teams get refreshed. And we'll be back with the New Zealand Secondary Schools football, and we'll see you shortly.
A koe nei tātou hoki ai. Tēnā tātou.
Being a rural school, travel is always a huge cost when playing sport at Central Hawke's Bay College. With the funding from Apollo projects, we've been able to lower travel costs to allow more students to participate in secondary school competitions. Where families have more than one child participating in sport and participating in more than one sport, the financial impact can be huge. Thank you to Apollo projects for the huge difference you have made to our students' participation levels in sport.
A big thank you to Apollo Projects for providing the funding to have Apollo run this program. Not only for us, but all the other schools. It makes a big difference to get some kids more active. The funding from Apollo has been spread across 14 team trips this year. It's been a big help to them, and they're really appreciative of Apollo for being able to provide it for us.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't. This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather 20 years ago.
No time to fluff around today? No worries. Just swing into Caltex and pay for fuel with Pay an App to speed on through. Ooh, yeah. Feels good. Use it at your local participating Caltex.
Want to catch a fuel bargain with Caltex and Supergold? Scan your Caltex app, Flybuys or Airpoints for 6 cents off per litre with Pumped.
You beauty!
And show your Supergold card for an extra 2 cents off. Ah, feels good.
I just want to thank New Zealand Carbon Farming for taking the initiative and supporting schools like ours.
It's really important they have that outlet to come to kura for another reason other than curriculum, and for some reason in our water our kids just breathe sport, and having that resource here makes life that much more enjoyable and they can keep doing what they're good at.
Having this funding, being able to use it specifically targeting sport is hugely beneficial.
So sponsorship from New Zealand Carbon Farming has been fantastic for our sports teams actually who went away to tournament week. We're a community who's driven by sport, but often money and the cost of travel, accommodation and uniform can be a barrier for some of our students. And to come out with a new uniform for a number of sports, particularly our basketball teams who have been away at nationals, has been uplifting for the students and for our community. The support from Carbon Farming has been wonderful.
Without them, then we wouldn't look like this.
Nau mai hoki mai ki te kēmu papatākoro ke wainga I ngā tīma ērua e kia nei ko Mount Albert Grammar, Rawa ko Rangitoto College. We have the starting lineup for Mount Albert Grammar right here. Anika Todd at number 1, Roxy Person at number 2, Holly Reno at 3, Stella Nola at 4, Piper O'Neill at 5, number 6 is Nina McFarland, 7 Maya Lyth, 9 is Emily Leon, Rosie Robson at number 10, Alana Reno at number 11, Tabby Middleton number 13, Nevaeh Rhodes 14, Maya Vince at 15, Victoria Faitiaki at 16, Millie Loxton and Sophia de Pleasure sharing jersey number 17.
And looking across the page to Rangitoto College, you've got Paige Little, Catherine Smith, Zara Harris, Daisy Tucker, Mila Miles, Kiara Quinn, Vicky Fernandez, Kenzie Longmuir, Ivy Cologne, I think it is, I'll make sure I got her pronunciation right, Isla Sherman, Georgina Astridge Emery, Ridley Sheldon, Lucy Selby Page, Kiera Knott, Charlotte Lynn and Alex Twoes. So as I say, with the first half, it's only got the one goal in it, but Bronson, a great matchup. And as I say, the reason we put the team list up, it's very hard for us to actually pick the players up with the sun literally setting over these girls' shoulders as they get ready for the second half.
And before we start off with the second half, we want to acknowledge our sponsors, Apollo Projects, Bailey's, Celtics, New Zealand Carbon Farming, Pure Athletic, and of course, Whakata Māori, Te Kainga Tūturu o ngā mā Hākinakina Rangatahi. The home of teenage sport, the home of New Zealand sport, as far as I'm concerned, Whakata Māori, nō reira, tēnā koutou, tahuti mai, hoki mai, you're welcome.
And of course, we've coming to you live from Crown Park here in Taupo on an absolutely stunning winter's day. And we've got another 2 days of great football action with the New Zealand Secondary Schools Football Tournament. And as I say, looking at these young women, they've managed to put on a really good first half, and the referee's given them the all clear to get underway for our second half of game number 2 this afternoon.
And what you see here, it was a really head-to-head first half. Both teams vying for supremacy, only got 1 point. That is a testament to the strength and the skill of these two teams. Rangitoto College continue with their relentless assault, and despite their repeated requests for a point, Mount Albert Grammar continues to deny them.
So as we say, Bronson, the speed in which these girls, and again, I've got to say it, the credit to the referees on these games, they are letting the game flow. They're not blowing that whistle all, every split second for any of the smaller, but they're still controlling the game, but they are letting it flow. A little bit of argy-bargy is not drawing a penalty or an opportunity for the referee to slow the game down. They're playing the full 40 minutes and getting straight into it, which is great to see.
It's clear to see that the referees are honouring the intent of the players, which are clearly showing they want the ball, they don't want to hurt each other, they just want to win.
Oh, a lovely little cross.
Beautiful, oh, and it goes out. But again, another example of the great skill behind both teams. Rangitoto College continue to press forward for a point. Will they score? The answer from Mount Albert Grammar is a firm, it's a no from us.
So it looks like they'll be moving into the situation where the cross kickers, whether she can get this absolutely on the money. There's just a slight breeze coming from the southwest off the main lake, but not enough to really give those flags a bit of a hurry up.
Oh, and it was answered with a header from Mount Albert Grammar.
So this is a great follow-on from the World Cup that was just recently played both here in New Zealand and in Australia. And it's probably only driven these young women to really push for higher honours as they get up through these age group areas. And we did ourselves really proud for a small country.
And did we get a point there? Almost, but no, not quite. We almost had a point there.
Bit of a scramble by the goalie to be able to get that back.
Mount Albert Grammar were very close to getting their second point, a request which was firmly denied by Rangitoto.
But when you look at Bronson, when you look at some of the, as we say, we talk about the school levels of it, but even the goalies kicked, you know, are going well over halfway. And then those throw-ins again. I mean, look at the distance this young lady's got.
Notice her long run up. Oh!
Oh, that one to the face.
Yep. But again, the referee is honouring their intent. Neither team is trying to hurt each other. They're just trying to win. But yeah, notice the long run up, an incredible, quite a big run up, and then a great heave of the ball to get some good distance. Oh, I think that was number 16 from Mount Albert Grammar, Victoria Fatiaki. Mount Albert have the ball, an opportunity to disturb the rhythm of Rangitoto, to get the ball into their pocket. Oh, and a back heel. The ball is still in play. Oh no, and it's out. Tēnei kōtiro iti, tēnō kaha ona whiu, ona karawhiu o te pōro. Those long distance throw-ins with a considerable run up.
One of the spectators took a nice, when the ball was being cleared, a nice, you can just see her down behind that blue chili bin. She wore one to the back of the head with a reasonably powerful clearance kick.
There's the world famous at Facebook. Well, in Taupo we have something called face ball. It's like football except you use your face. So, ko te mea nui kia haumaru ngā kaimātakitaki me ngā kai tākaro katoa. Hopefully everyone has a safe day.
A lovely through ball there to the number 2, Catherine Smith, for Rangitoto.
Kei te tekau mawhitu o Rangitoto. Kua whakawhiti tana whana, engari kāre te pai. Me mihi ka tika ki te kaunga me te me te kaha o ngā kapa e rua. Rangitoto College continue to press forward, making an urgent application for a point. Ko te whakahoki a Mount Albert Grammar, ka hore. And looking at Mount Albert, if you're wondering why I'm not using the Te Reo Māori names, Mount Albert is actually a maunga with several names from the different whakapapa of the different tribes that settle the Auckland area. Ko tētahi o ngā ingoa e kia nei ko Wairaka, or Wairaka is one of the names of Mount Albert, and also you have Te Ahi Ka Arakataura. These two names represent two ancestors which populated those regions in ancient times, and the two names reflect the remembrance of the different peoples who lived in Auckland in those times. So there are landmarks across the country, just like our English landmarks, they have multiple names. Oh, and we had a potential hurt there from Mount Albert, but she took it well.
Yeah, didn't do the big rollover Hollywood type style. She just basically picked herself up.
Yeah, she literally,
said, it's all right.
Yeah, she almost did a handstand to celebrate. So I guess that's the difference between our men's football. Our tāne tend to fake injuries, whereas our ladies, they tend to celebrate them.
But that's not underestimating how hard these young women are actually playing the game. And I was really impressed with this young woman. And as I say, we do apologise because the reflection with the sun coming over our backs. I'll see if I can pick up her number. I think it's number 14, Isla Sherman, for Rangitoto. She's got a great arm on her.
Yeah, flings that ball far. Catherine Smith from Rangitoto, jostling for the ball, almost taking a fall. And I think that was Kira Scott at number 25. Had a little bit of a slip.
She's a tall young lady as well.
Daisy Tucker trying to bring the ball back into play for Rangitoto. So we're almost, just past the 8th minute of the second half. The score remains at 1-0. Ko tahi te piro o te taha Mount Albert Grammar. And on the side of Rangitoto, we have no points. But I guess that comes with a caveat. And the caveat I'm about to make is this. When you see low scores in a football game, that doesn't mean that either side isn't performing. It's actually a sign of the excellence of both teams.
Oh, and the defence, as you say, has just been fantastic on in the game that we had earlier and now.
Hopefully number 8, is that number 18? That's
Riley Sheldon.
Hopefully she's okay. She took a bit of a fall. Referee is checking up on her. And that's I think that's Victoria Fatiaki from the side of Rangitoto. Oh, sorry, from Mount Albert Grammar.
Nice to see the sportsmanship coming into play as well, with the Mount Albert Grammar player coming forward.
Now, I totally get why they chose baby blue. Of course, Mount Albert Grammar being synonymous with the blue lion, the logo of Mount Albert Grammar School, whereas people that live in Auckland call it MAGS, and with the female equivalent in Auckland, AGS, Auckland Girls Grammar School.
So I think that was Alana Rennell, number 10. Ready to take the free kick.
Oh, very close. I think if that ball was travelling a little faster, that would have got in. But it just lost its power and it made it easier for the Kaitiaki to intercept. But again, Rangitoto continued to make an urgent application for points, and the answer continues from the side of Mount Albert Grammar. It's a no from us.
Yeah, and the Rangitoto girls are really putting the heat on. I mean, the first goal was quite early in the first half. So, you know, they've managed to sort of maintain their momentum. And they're not letting the girls from Grammar get, you know, much further ahead. They've been attacking really, really well.
You know, and you see Isla Sherman with her throw-ins. I mean, I think she's probably got the strongest triceps in the entire tournament, throwing like a quarter of the field at any given time, long run-ups, incredible power. And Mount Albert Grammar are pressing forward for their for another point. So as Rangitoto College continues to make an urgent application for a point, Mount Albert continue to say no, and they try and put in an application of their own.
And I would say that Rangitoto Bronson have done really well because they've been sort of playing the game in the right half.
Yeah, they have been.
A lot of the time.
Yeah. And even though they're behind on the points, it's still their game to lose. Like they're not falling behind. They continue to hold position. They continue to vie for points. It's just the excellent defence of Mount Albert that continues to frustrate them every time. But kaore rātou mo te tūohu, kaore rātou I te pauri, kei te kaha tonu rātou kia whai atu I ngā piro.
So they, of course, have just come straight underneath our cameraman at the moment, so you can sort of see how close we are to the field of play.
Two heads are better than one. And that was Kenzie Longmuir. She was ganged up on by two of Mount Albert Grammar, but she continued, she stood firm.
Yeah, she's very impressive, this young lady. She's being able to, you know, hold her ground. She's got, and as we said earlier, she's got an incredible throw-in, obtaining some great distance.
Coming up to the 13th minute of the second half, Mount Albert Grammar versus Rangitoto College. The best of Central versus the best of the Shore. Waikatohu, Waikahua, Waikatohu, ko wai e toa, who knows?
So this match coming to you from Crown Park in Taupo, and in the background, when the camera swings around, you'll see Mount Tahara, so you'll get sort of some sort of reference. And the lake pretty much as if you look to the right of your screen, or sort of imagine looking right of screen. That's the southern end, so we're looking down towards the mountains, and at the moment, absolutely pristine conditions for these young women to be playing in the secondary schools football tournament. No wind to speak of, clear blue skies, and if you're running around in the paddock, you wouldn't be feeling so bad, but a little bit cool in the shade. So fortunately, Crown Park has really opened up. Here's a lovely throw, and that gave us that point of what we were talking about earlier, Bronson, at Kenzie Longmuir. The length of throw that this young lady's got is incredible.
Very true, very true. And as you see the camera panning, you'll see our ambulance on standby, ready to help anyone as needed. Tēnei taku mihi ki ngā ratonga e awhi ai a tātou i ngā wā o te parukura. Acknowledging our emergency services, the great work they do. It's a thankless job, they work hard, and they've done so much for our community. Nō reira me mihi ka tika, kia rātou katoa.
Yeah, she's incredible. I've very, very impressed watching her. And as I say, the Rangitoto girls are not holding back. I probably thought that, like many of us, when we watched the first couple of minutes, it seemed to be that Mount Albert Grammar had the legs on these ladies from Rangitoto, but not that being the case. It hasn't been one-way traffic in any way, shape or form with this game.
Ko te heke o ngā piro o te taha rangitoto, kāre rātau I te mate tarakihi e mate ururoa tonu ana, upoko taiaha, upoko maro. We're not seeing any side showing any signs of giving up. Both sides are still in the game. We've had a fall.
Looks like there might have been a collision between the two players.
Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, referee's having a close look. Should be calling for some sort of assistance to come from one of their coaches. So with the game sort of lovely poised at 15 minutes into the game, with Mount Albert Grammar leading 1-0 over Rangitoto College. Just as a little bit of a hold up while we get the attention to the players. It's one of the things too with the charter that I like is you know, you're not focused on the poor player that's on the ground at the moment. The camera moves away, leaves them to it.
That's great to know. I was wondering why that happened.
Yep. Play hard, play fair, but you don't need to draw attention. As I say, it's not an issue with the actual surface of the pitch at all. It's just that because of the pumice and the ground itself, the ground doesn't get soft. It still stays firm year round, as you well know, Bronson. It just stays firm all year round. So when they do go down, there's not a lot of cushioning, shall we say.
And looking at the way, like you mentioned, that the camera doesn't point to anybody that may be hurt or injured. In Māoridom, we refer to that as preserving mana. The mana of a person, the self-esteem of a person, the way that they're esteemed in other people's presence. At all times, the idea is to try and protect the person's mana, protect their self-esteem. So we can see that kaupapa is going out on the field today.
Yeah, well, that was Catherine Smith, number 2, but she's just being re-greeted back onto the paddock by her teammates. Nice to see also the girls from Mount Albert walking up to her just saying, "You okay? You okay?" As I say, it happens in a lot of amateur sport, but it's the friendships that these young women are going to continue through their life. Look, she's back to full flight. She's running free.
It's as though nothing happened.
Yeah, straight back into the action.
Yep. This is another fall. Number 16 for Mount Albert Grammar. That te ahone ko Victoria Whaitiaki tērā. Whaitiaki. Te ahone he uri no tonga. And you see just that skill of playing, jostling for the ball, legally, not being rough, but not being afraid to put the body into the ball.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of sisters playing for Mount Albert Grammar, Holly and Alana Rennell. I would assume they probably, when we get a bit of a close-up, more of an angle, they do look like sisters.
Mount Albert Grammar pushing for another point. Rangitoto continue to block their path. Ball now securely in the hands of, in the feet of Rangitoto. Will they continue their urgent application for points?
Well, their pokere skills are really, really good, as we say, for, you know, college students.
Definitely. And the testament of that is the low score of this game. The expertise is such that hardly any points have been yielded in this game. When you see these low score games, you know both teams are good. Neither of them are mucking around. They're both in for the win.
And as Bronson and myself have been sort of commenting, we'd love to be able to give you a little bit more of who's actually playing with the ball, but particularly with the likes of Mount Albert Grammar, we can't actually see the numbers as clearly as we do per se with the Rangitoto numbers on the back of the white with the red shirts, but with the baby blue and white, it's nigh on impossible for us to tell you from our commentary position. So we do apologise on that, and that thus also probably being a bit more reflective with the likes of the Rangitoto girls, that we can probably acknowledge them by name a little bit more freely than we can with Mount Albert. So we do apologise, but we'll do our best. But at least it's a nice sunny day, and the girls will be enjoying it. So a nice little cross field. Let's see how this goes.
But make no mistake, whānau and friends of Central Auckland, kaore e kore kei te roa te rai o ngā kahurangi. No doubt we can hear the blue lion roaring on the fields of Taupo of this day. We can hear them loud and clear. It's just hard for us to see the numbers. Nō reira a mātou whakapāha. Kua whara tētahi mai te taha Rangitoto. We've had a bit of a fall on the Rangitoto side.
Just a couple of sprigs to the ankle, which if anyone knows, it hurts. But no limping, she seems to be fine. It's number 5, I think it was. It's Mila Morels.
And Mount Albert Grammar have the ball. Engari tonu ka ki atu anoa hau, kei te rongo pai maua ko Brent i te ro o te rai o ngā kahurangi o Mags. Kei te kaha pēhi a Mount Albert Grammar i a Rangitoto e whai piro anoa na rātou.
Yeah, well, they tried to get that kick cleared away because the cross was pretty good. It's just they didn't have one of their strikers in the position of being able to sort of take full advantage of that. But you just start to see that there's a bit more urgency coming out of Mount Albert Grammar as well. Just playing it back and trying to get their attack sorted out.
That's an interesting tactic, taking the ball into their field so that they can push it up front. I wouldn't think that's a good call, but it works.
Well, I think sometimes too you'll be noticing that the girls are actually getting quite bunched up. So sometimes just by allowing them to play it back, they can sort of start spreading out the opposition as well, because they've got to get into a defensive mode at the same time. So what you're getting is a more of an open play. And it gives the players just that little bit of a chance to sort of see where the potential opening is.
And for a lot of this first half, of the second half, the ball has been in the Rangitoto half. But now we see that the tables have turned and maybe some injuries perhaps.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a clash between a couple of players, because it's interesting if you watch very closely. The support to both the players came in very, very quickly. And you can see that the Rangitoto girls are helping out with the Mount Albert. So concern shown all around. Again, one of the nice things about this age group sport, play hard but play fair.
Reminds me of those ads on TV when, I won't use the word younger, oops, I just did. Remember those ones? Play hard but play fair?
Yeah, it was a massive campaign in New Zealand sport, getting people to, you know, get involved with it.
It was probably something peculiar to us Waikato boys, but we used to imitate the kid Smithy would say, "Ah, waste them." And that was our rallying call, waste them. But of course, such things these days, 21st century thinking, so no. Kaore mātou mo te pehi I a rātou. We're not, these girls, no way they'll say such things such as, "I'll waste them."
No, they've cleaned up a lot of that amateur sport, which is great. I mean, there's not that the niggle that you used to watch, even if you watched other sports, like if you take it at senior level. You know, if somebody tapped you on the shoulder, it was all in. Massive brawl on the field. You don't see that. You definitely don't see it in age group football, but it's something that they've really kicked out hard and kicked onto the also onto the sideline, getting parents to actually settle down and don't scream at these kids. It is only at the end of it a game. It's not life or death. Looks like this player might be actually leaving the field. I'm just watching the two. Yep, so they're calling on another player. We'll see if we can pick up who that is going to be for Rangitoto. Seems to be walking reasonably freely, which is good. Not getting any support.
Me mihi ka tika.
Here is just, you can see coming onto the field, I think.
Yep. Looks like, yes.
See if she's going
Looks
to
like
turn around. Will give us our number.
Me mihi ka tika ki te kaunga, me te me te kaha o ngā kapa e rua nei. Aha ko ngā piki me ngā heke kei te kaha tonu rātou, kei te whai tonu rātou ki te Wikitoria.
And the problem being is we've got 3 numbers of 25, so it's Kira not either that, or it's Charlotte Lynn or Alex Twews.
And Mags are on the attack again. Oh no.
So as I say, we've just had just over 22 and a half minutes in this game between Mount Albert Grammar and Rangitoto College, with Mount Albert Grammar leading 1-0 at the moment. Playing at great pace too, Bronson, really good pace.
The fitness training must have been amazingly horrible. To be able to play 2 halves of an active sport such as football is incredible. Sad to say, I was one of those half-only impact players in my rugby days. Could push a scrum pretty good though. Engari ngēnei taiohi, kahana, whiti ana.
It was a good try for the Rangitoto that they didn't take the ball out, but the referee had that one well and truly covered.
And the Blue Lion roars again. Can they cross it back in for a goal? Seemed easier for Rangitoto just to push the ball out to buy some time. Tactics like that can reset the rhythm of an attack, give defenders time to reorientate and reset.
Bit of a swing and a miss. Oh, here we go, as an opportunity to come through, but maybe just that slight bit of delay on the execution of that kick. Just that half second changes it all.
So we're just over halfway in the second half. Mount Albert Grammar versus Rangitoto College in the Premier Girls 2023 Secondary Schools Tournament. Crown Park, under the shadow of Mount Tauhara, the grassy knoll that overlooks Taupo Nui Atia. We've had a few falls and a few scuffles in this game, but it's clear to see the teams aren't trying to hurt each other, they're just trying to win.
Here we come into this. See whether she can get this back. The defence coming across, a little bit of an elbow going in. As we've said, the kaitaki is just so good, but both these games that we've been broadcasting today, the defence is just what their coaches would be very proud of them.
Stalwarts, I think, would be the word if I was to translate from the Māori. Pātu wata wata, firm defence, firm bulwarks, never yielding. Oh, bit of a trip there. Rangitoto have got the ball back in play. Can they cross it back in for a goal? Can they maintain the momentum to draw the game?
Well, they don't have long to go, but of course a lot can happen in the time left. As I say, we've just clicked over the 25 minute for the second half of this New Zealand Secondary Schools football game between Mount Albert Grammar and Rangitoto College.
We've had multiple throw-ins just over that past minute. Ball gets thrown in, ball gets bounced out, ball gets thrown in, ball gets bounced out. Can Rangitoto maintain rhythm, maintain momentum enough to get a point? Koina te pātai na nui e tēnei wā tonu. Whiua ki wainga. Kei a Rangitoto tonu te poro. Oh, here's your cross. Can we get a goal from this? Not enough numbers on the Rangitoto side to press forward.
Well, the defenders got in between the goal and the actual striker coming forward. Managed to put an absolute screaming halt onto it.
Ka tai te kaitiaki ko tērā. Great defence from Mount Albert Grammar as Rangitoto continue to press forward. Their urgent application, can we have a point? Mount Albert Grammar continue to say, ka hore.
So we have a free kick coming forward for Rangitoto.
While the rhythm resets, me mihi ka tika ki ngā kai āwhina, whenā i Apollo projects, rātou ko Baileys, ko Caltex, ko New Zealand Carbon Farming, ko whakata Māori e kia nei ko te kāinga tūturu, te kāinga tika o ngā hākinakina o te rangatahi, the home of youth sport, and as far as I'm concerned, the home of sport across the nation, whakata Māori, no mai haramai. Penalty kick for Rangitoto College. Will they score? And it goes over the pop.
Goalie got good height too to try and just ensure that if she needed to lift it over the top of that crossbar.
Girls got hops.
She got there.
In your opinion, Brett, what makes a good goalie?
Absolute courage, in a word, because I mean, they've got everyone trying to throw something at them, and yeah, and the actual being able to sort of read the play, especially when you get into the likes of your penalty kick shootouts and the likes, but you know, that ball is travelling at some speed coming at your head, or you know, to try and get past you. So yeah, you got to lay your life on the line, I think, if you're going to be a goalie.
Yeah. Body on the line, life on the line. Mate uriroa, kaue mate tarikihi.
See, look at the way she's protecting that ball there. Just keeping herself between the defender or the person trying to take the ball away from her. She's just putting her back into it.
Literally there, using the back to just push the opposing player out of the picture.
The only other sport that actually I think does that too, Bronson, is basketball.
Yep.
You know, where you've got them where they'll be able to do it and, you know, get it from that as well. So as I say, it's not all one-way traffic, Mount Albert Grammar. got their goal quite early in the piece, but from that, looks like the referee's called back a penalty. Just getting a little bit too high with defence with the kick.
I think Victoria Fatiaki was jostling for a goal there. I think she was getting ready for the kick. It's always a regret when you see the ball come your way and then you hear a whistle.
Yeah, well, the rutu that have been happening during the game, as I say, nothing is left behind. I mean, you sort of, I don't know, maybe this is a terrible generalisation, but, you know, you sort of think that these young women are, you know, they're not really going to go hard out. But my goodness me, when you actually see what's going on, they're not scared of anything.
Strong, but clean. You see right there, that's the difference, right? They're tackling fairly, they're tackling legally. They've put in a lot of practice of combining physicality with finesse.
Oh, and they're delivering on it as well. And as I say, with just 10 minutes to go in this match with the secondary schools football, Mount Albert Grammar up against Rangitoto College. You can see the score being 1-0. And I'm sure that, well, Rangitoto would like to at least equalise at this point.
This reminds me of the men of the All Whites last World Cup, where they kept on drawing and they got further than they ever had in a World Cup.
They never won a game.
Never won a game,
no.
But they drew all the way and they just kept going. And that's a testimony again to relentless defence. Sure, a draw doesn't sound great, but if you're drawing the way and you're still pressing forward, he tohu era o ngā pūkenga o tērā kapa. It's a sign of the skill level of the team that you can keep on pressing forward in a tournament without scoring a single goal.
Oh, and I think it's the only team in the world in World Cup history, actually, that it didn't win a game but got through to where they did. I can't remember that, actually.
I think was it just short of the quarters, or did they just reach the quarters? I can't remember.
Yeah, and but then, you know, a lot of people will say that you're not getting a 0-0 game is a boring game. Well, I don't agree with it. I think when you're seeing the skill levels, even a 1-0 game, you know, is great.
And we just saw there, Rangitoto were almost in the pocket for a goal. Mags have the ball now.
So quite happy to just kick it out of play.
We've got 8 minutes to the end of the game. Might be adjusted for injuries and whatnot.
Yeah, there haven't been too many, Bronson, but as you say, I think they're probably running it pretty much to a clock. They're not really running it all the way through with the traditional, you know, you end up watching a game at 45 minutes and it goes for, you know, nearly 55 minutes. I think that you'll find that pretty much when that 40-minute mark comes up, they might add another minute or two, depending on how the referee feels. And you never know, the girls might be saying, I've had enough now, thanks. But legs have gone. But looking at this,
we had a bit of a stoosh there. Rangitoto and Mags jostling for the ball. Bit of push and shove. No reira kua mahuta mai te pātaina nui. E āhei ana a Rangitoto ki te whaipiro pai. Kia whakaorite te tauranga o te kēmu nei. Can Rangitoto get a point to even the game?
Well, these games that are being played currently, you can see on the screen, we've got Cashmere High School, New Plymouth Girls, Maclean's College, Waikato Dio, Diocesan School, Westlake Girls, and this one, Mount Albert Grammar and Rangitoto College. They're all playing at the moment on different fields around here at Crown Park. And as we say, it is a knockout tournament. Ooh. Yeah, no one could get onto the end of that.
Mags were doing all the right things, but they just couldn't get enough numbers in the centre to close the pocket.
It's another little bit of a clash.
I can't see her jersey numbers, well, I can't see her name, but one of the Mount Albert attackers wearing the red headband, she's played a great game. She's been consistent, she's been pushing forward the whole entire game. Me mihi atu ki aia. Ka reo e te mōhio i tō ingoe, engari e ko pairau atu ngō pukenga i tēnei kēmu. Speaking about the Mount Albert Grammar player who's about to take the free kick at the moment. She's played a great game consistently. I think she's number 9.
could be Rosie Robson.
Yeah, she's played an excellent game throughout. Honestly, been looking at her. Her distinctive red headband makes it quite easy to see. Oh, we were just about to see another point for Mount Albert, but the rangitoto kaitiaki pairawa atu tiaki pai ora ai. Ko te whakautu o rangitoto e kore.
Beautiful save by the goalkeeper. She came off, held a line and that ball was screaming at her.
That's koina he tauira o ngā ki o Brent, ko te mahi o te kaitiaki pai, ko te mate ururoa. Absolute courage, body on the line, do anything to get it done. Yes, hopefully. I think this is Rosie in the corner. She's outnumbered, pushing. Did you see that? 3-on-1. Rosie didn't care. Mate ururoa. Upoko taiaha. Upoko maro. 3 players, 5 players. Rosie doesn't care.
Yeah, but she, as she said, she was protecting that ball, and it was quite funny. I thought they were going to literally physically push her out of the way to try and get to it. But yeah, 3-on-1. I thought.
Yeah.
But she said no.
Yep.
No.
She just held the line, just in that corner. You could tell they were trying to get. They couldn't get through her. They couldn't get around her. And to have that sort of, to be honest, I don't know why she isn't playing defense. She's so great at defense, but they've put her in offense. But then again, she's played a great game through the entire 80 minutes.
Yeah, well, the referee awarded that as a penalty because simply for the fact that they received the free kick. So we are on the countdown with just a little over, possibly around 5 minutes to play in this game.
No reira tēnei au e noho poho kuku pāna, no poho kereru ana I ngā kapa katoa e prei ana I tēnei wā tonu. Absolutely proud of these girls. They've done so well. They've worked so hard. Ka reira te mo te makarona, all in for the win.
And that just showed us what we were talking about earlier, Bronson, how the goalkeeper put herself on the line. I mean, she had 2 shots at that.
She did.
And managed to sort of literally throw a body on the line.
And to have the courage to come far out, because the further you stray from the goal, the more risk you put your goal at. But she doesn't care. She's just willing to come out to the extreme limits of the box and just press forward and protect the ball, or to protect her goal from the ball.
So is it?
Is it time?
I think the way the players are coming onto the field, I would say they're all congratulating themselves. Both our linesmen are there as well, the touch judges. See those? Yes.
Yes.
Handshakes all round.
And the game of 2 halves has come to a completion. Mount Albert Grammar 1, Rangitoto 0. Full-time score.
So this is part of the last of our coverage for this particular day. We're back again tomorrow for the secondary schools football tournament here at Crown Park in Taupo. Tell you what, Bronson, 2 games of great football that you and I had the pleasure to commentate. We're back again tomorrow, of course, to give that a go.
Yeah, it's been a great day with you, Brent. Thanks so much. And to you, the players, you've made a great day. To you, the families, coaches, supporters, without you guys, this couldn't happen. Nō reira me mihi kātika ahau, māwatahi nei, kia koutou katoa, e whai kaha ana, e mahi kaha ana, ki rongi I ngā whira. You've left nothing on the ground today. Rangitoto, keep your heads up, stand proud, you've done well. Mount Albert Grammar, we've heard the Blue Lion roar.
And we'll be back again, as we say, tomorrow again from Crown Park, where we've got our kickoff. One of our games will be at 11 o'clock. And I think we go 9:15, 11 o'clock, 1:15 and 3 o'clock. The games that'll be covered. And we'll look forward to your company. And again, a great pleasure to be bringing in this broadcast to you. Cheers.
Ka kite.
Relentless.